Hey there, beautiful survivors. Let's journey to healing, starting with these questions you asked me. Number 1, how do I begin to heal from this experience? The first step in healing from sexual abuse is often the most daunting. This chapter will explore the initial stages of recovery, helping survivors understand that healing is a journey, not a single event. Recognizing trauma. Understanding the psychological and emotional impact of abuse. Seeking support. The importance of reaching out to a therapist, counselor, or support group. Self-compassion. Starting with kindness towards oneself and accepting that healing takes time. Creating a safe space. Establishing environments that foster a sense of safety and comfort. Small steps. Forward. Developing healthy coping mechanisms and daily routines to begin the process of recovery. 2. Will I ever feel normal or safe again? Survivors often struggle with regaining a sense of normalcy or safety. Understanding. Hypervigilance. How trauma affects the brain and body's sense of safety. Rebuilding trust in oneself, others, and the world around you. Developing coping strategies, practical exercises to manage anxiety and fear. Creating boundaries, how to establish emotional, physical, and relational boundaries. Recognizing safety signals, how to gradually reconnect with your surroundings and sense of well-being. 3. Why do I feel so much guilt or shame when it wasn't my fault? Many survivors internalize blame, even though the abuse was not their fault. The roots of guilt and shame. Exploring societal and psychological reasons for these feelings. Challenging self-blame. Using cognitive behavioral techniques to reframe thoughts. Understanding trauma. Responses. Why survivors may feel guilt due to their body's survival mechanisms, e.g., freezing or dissociation. Reclaiming your narrative. Taking ownership of your story without self-blame. Practicing self-forgiveness, steps to release guilt and embrace self-compassion. 4. How do I deal with triggers and flashbacks? Triggers and flashbacks are common for survivors, and they can feel overwhelming. Understanding triggers, how everyday situations or sensations can remind you of the trauma. Grounding techniques, practical exercises to stay present during a flashback. Building resilience. Over time, learning to anticipate and reduce the intensity of triggers. Mindfulness and self-care, how practices like meditation and self-soothing techniques can help manage trauma responses. When to seek help. Recognizing when professional support is needed for more severe symptoms. 5. Is it possible to have healthy relationships or trust people again? Sexual abuse can severely impact relationships and trust. Rebuilding trust. How to take small steps in rebuilding trust with others. Understanding boundaries in relationships. Learning to set and maintain boundaries in intimate and social relationships. Communicating needs. How to express emotional and physical needs with partners or loved ones. Recognizing healthy relationships. What constitutes a healthy, respectful, and consensual relationship. Working through intimacy issues. Navigating the challenges of intimacy after trauma. 6. How do I talk about what happened to me with others? Sharing your story can be incredibly difficult, but also healing. Deciding when and who to tell, how to identify safe people to talk to, and when you're ready to share. Preparing for different reactions. Understanding that responses to your story may vary, and preparing emotionally for both positive and negative reactions. Setting the tone. How to control the narrative and set boundaries in the conversation. Self-advocacy, speaking up for your needs during and after disclosure. the power of storytelling, how sharing your experience can be empowering and part of the healing process. 7. What if I can't remember all of the details? Does that mean it didn't happen? Many survivors struggle with fragmented memories, the nature of traumatic memory, how trauma can affect the brain's ability to recall events clearly. Trusting your experience, affirming that fragmented memories do not invalidate the reality of the abuse. Working with uncertainty, coping with incomplete memories and feelings of doubt. Healing without full recollection, techniques to process trauma without needing every detail. Professional help for memory, processing, the role of trauma-informed therapy in addressing fragmented memories. I'm here with you. Let's keep going. Okay, remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to reach out for help.